Hello, my name is Mardatilah Ramadanty, and now I will explain about the definition of semantics. First, what is semantics? Semantics is the study of meaning in language. So semantics is usually concerned with the analysis of words, phrases, or sentences, or and sometimes with the meaning of utterances in discourse or the meaning of a whole text. That's semantics. So we all know that semantics is the study of meaning, right? But what is meaning? So in linguistics, meanings means what a language expresses about the world we live in or any possible or imaginary world. For example, when I said water, so we will think that water is something that liquid, and then sometimes the color is blue or not color, or sometimes water can be in the river or in the sea or something that we can drink, that we think about water. That means meanings can be expressed about the world we live in or any possible, something that in our life. But when I said dragon, well, you can imagine it. Dragon is a big animal that can make fire from their mouth. So it calls meanings is expresses what in our mind that we can imagine it. So meanings can be anything that we think, right? Even it real or not real. If it is real, of course, in our life, expresses the word that expresses about the world that we live in. But when we imagine something, of course, that and we know that it is not real, of course the meanings can be expresses about what we are imagining in our mind or imaginary world. So that's what can I say, the definition of semantics and the definitions of meanings. The next will be explained by my friends. Thank you.
I would like to explain about semantic features. So, semantic features is an element of meaning. Some semantic features are indicated by cues from syntactic or elements of spelling and grammatically or elements of organization features. Others can be determined by attribute root meaning. Still, other features can be determined from context, in particular, extension and variation of the root meaning. Some general examples of semantic features include gender, like masculine and feminine, count, singular, plural, agency, position, person, like first, second, third, root meanings, precision, reference cues like this, that, the other, and locator, temporal, indicators, where semantic features and grammatical features code a message for transmission from one person to the other. Semantic features determine what we actually understand a message to mean. Sometimes the coding might be ambiguous, so we need contextual cues to help us extract more the correct meaning. We assemble up the semantic features to determine what a message means.
So the next I will give you some examples of semantic features, and we can observe the semantic features by taking an example. For example, the assistant was stopped before he got to Mr. Adam. This is word assistant is in people mental dictionary, and people know that it was some person who was prevented for murdering some important person named Adam. And people knowledge of the meaning of ascension tells them that it was not an animal that tried to kill the man, that Adam was not likely to be a little old man who owned a tobacco shop. And then, in other words, people knowledge of the meaning of ascension includes knowing that the individual to whom the word refers is human, is a murderer, and is a killer of important people. And then these pieces of information then are and some of semantic properties of the word even which speaker of language agree, and the meaning of all nouns, verbs, adjective, and adverb, and the content words, and even some of the function words such as with or even can at least partially be specified by such properties. And then the next I have other example of semantic features. This is syntactically correct synthesis, but this is not semantically odd. For example, the hamburger ate the man, the cat studies linguistics, the table listens to the radio. This is relates to the conceptual components of the word, like a hamburger, cat, and then table. It is not human. And the next material will be presented by my friend.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everybody, my name is Nidha Yurlinasari. So I will present about semantic role. So we will start it with the definition. So what is semantic role? So the definition of semantic role, a semantic role is the underlying relationship that a participant has with the main verb in a clause. So which is words are not just a containers of meaning. So they fulfill the different roles within the situation described by a sentence. And semantic has 5 roles. They are agent, patient or theme, instrument, experiencer, and the last one is location. The first one is agent. The entity that performs the action is technically known as agent. For example, the boy kicked the ball. As in the sentence, one role is taken by the boy and the boy performs the action, so it is agent. Although agents are typically human, they can also be non-human forces, machines, and creature. For another example is the wind blew the ball away, the car ran over the ball. The second one is patient or theme. The entity that is involved in or affected by the action is technically known as theme. We can say the example is the boy kicked the ball. In this sentence, ball is the theme because this is affected by the action performed by the agent. And the theme can also be an entity that is simply being described. For example, the ball was red. The theme can also be human. Indeed, the physical entity can appear in 2 semantic roles. For example, the boy kicked himself. Next is instrument. If an agent uses another entity in performing an action, that the other entity fills the role of instrument. For example, she writes a letter, he have the lunch. In writing with a pen or eating with spoon, the presses a pen and a spoon have the semantic role of the instrument. Next, we have experiencer. When a noun phrase designs as entity as a person who has a feeling, a perception, or a state, it fills the role of experiencer. If we see, know, or enjoy something, we do not perform any action. In this way, we are in the role of experiences. For example, did you hear the noise? The experiencer is you, and the theme is that noise. The last one is location. When an entity is in the description of the event, then it fills the role of location. For example, Mary saw a mosquito on the wall. in the sentence on the wall is the location. I think that's it from me, so the another material will be presented by my friends. Thank you.
Semantic roles are rather different. They concern the roles that people and things play externally in the real world. These people and things are referred to by the parts of the clause in a way that tell us what is the role are. The most obvious semantic role is called agent. The example is like John steered the boat. Who or what is the agent of that sentence? The answer is John. And another important semantic role is patient. This is the role of being actioned upon by agent. It is sometimes called undergo. It doesn't refer to a patient in medical sense. The example is like John steered the boat. The boat is the patient because it is acted by John. It has steering done to it, so the role of patient can be expressed in different ways in different clauses structures. And endless role has semantic role of recipient, which indicate the receiver in situation. Can you identify the recipient in this example? The children sent Ahmed a postcard. And the children is as the agent, and a postcard is as the patient. And that's the three most important semantic roles. It's agent, patient, and recipient.